We must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
What we do not do is spy unlawfully on Americans.
We are leaving in 2014, period. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
America's public enemy number one in the United States is drug abuse. In order to fight and defeat this enemy, it is necessary to wage a new all-out offensive.
You are listening to Biting the Bullet with Luke and Typo.
Typewriter.
Is that how you spell typewriter?
Looks close enough.
Whatever. If there's a typo in it, that'd actually be kind of funny.
Yeah, it would make it better.
Top rider.
Fucking Ponder, bro. Brandon Pana from Atlanta.
Dude, I remember I insulted him one time.
That's a big guy to insult.
Well, I didn't mean to, but he had like that black Southern accent. And I was like, man, like you sound like you're from the South. And he was like, hell yeah. And I was like, are you from Louisiana?
Oh,
like,
God.
And he's like, bruh. And then made a big scene and people started coming over. And then he turns around, lifts up his shirt, and he's got an Atlanta Falcons tattoo on his back.
Yeah, dude.
And I was like, sorry, bro.
Dude, I feel like all the black dudes from our unit were from Atlanta besides Nick. Like they were all from ATL.
Yeah.
Like they were all from Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? How'd you all end up in Japan? Like this is like the furthest away from where you could possibly be. Like it's almost like being in Okinawa, Japan is like worse than them being in like Denver, fucking Colorado, Whitesville. Like it's just so random.
Yeah, dude. I don't know why. I don't know. Things must be pretty bad in Atlanta. If black people are joining the Marine Corps to get out of Atlanta, like I don't know. Maybe it's pretty bad there.
I wonder what the recruitment rates are from like Atlanta, like this year.
That would be a funny thing to look up, dude.
I wonder. I'll search for it on my phone while we're doing this, and maybe we'll fucking come back to it. But yeah, I just like. Where's the highest recruits coming from? It's got to be California and Texas, right? California and Texas got to be the highest.
Well, I would assume that just for like the Marine Corps, but if we're talking like the whole military, I bet it's still Texas. I bet Texas dominates.
Yeah, Texas definitely dominates.
Like, because there's a lot of dudes dude. I bet it's a bunch of like, I don't know, because there was a lot of people from cities too.
Yeah, well, I think it's like always a lot from cities, but it's usually like southern cities, like fucking It's like they're from Dallas or Houston or fucking yeah. Like dude, there wasn't a lot of people from fucking Phoenix, that's for sure. Like I don't remember meeting anybody else from Phoenix.
Wasn't that black sergeant that worked in the company office with you, wasn't he from Phoenix? Yeah,
he was one of the only other ones. But I don't even think he was from Phoenix. I think he just like he had moved to Phoenix. Like he was from somewhere else.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like honest, it's weird too, because you'll meet a lot of people, at least for our experience. Now maybe we just fucking didn't run into anyone from Phoenix, but then you move to Phoenix and there's a bunch of like brand new, fresh veteran people like got out within four years or under that live in Phoenix.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of people. I think the veteran community is huge out here. I just don't think
for sure.
Like I think you got Yuma, you got all the places in California. You got I know there's a couple bases. There's like 2 or 3 bases in New Mexico. Colorado, well, and it's like people like a lot of vets moving from more expensive places to cheaper places, which they can't do that anymore because now fucking Phoenix is expensive as fuck.
And there was a decent amount of people that went to school at ASU.
Yeah. And I mean, Nick almost got in. So like they let almost anybody in.
Did they let us in, dude?
Yeah, dude. Hey, but to be fair, they went off my high school transcripts and my high school SAT scores, and I did really well on them. So
yeah, that's true. I got like we had ACTs. I don't think I ever took the SAT. I don't think. But our ACT, like I got like a 21, and I think the average was like 18. So I was like, oh, 3 points above average. I'm doing just fine, dude. I'm all right with that.
Dude, well, and that's the other thing. Like we both did really, it's not like we were unintelligent. We were just, I mean, we are unintelligent. We're probably more unintelligent now than we were then when it comes to like book smarts, because we both scored in a certain percentile to get basically any job we want to in the military.
Yeah, it's like you know, we're the smartest of the dumb people. Yeah. Like it's not even that we're like that smart. It's just like if there was a trailer park, we could be king in the trailer park. Like that's like it's not impressive or anything, but it's like, you know, we're just slightly more smarter than the below average person.
So the only one that I can find right now, it says there were a total of 1.3 million active duty military, more than 800,000 reserve forces in September of 2017. According to the Defense Department personal data, or that was according to Defense Department personal data. Total active duty personnel for the this is just where they're at now. So from California, there's 100. Dude, isn't that crazy? We spend like how much money on the fucking United States military? Like billions of dollars. Like billions of fucking dollars. Yeah. And it's
like 30% of the national budget, probably more. I'm just making a number up.
And there's 2 million people active in reserve in the military. 2 million. 2.1. Damn. That's how, and we spend billions on the fucking United States military, and there's not even a billion people in it. Anyway, so California, there's 184,540 people from California, 164,234 from Texas, 115,280 from Virginia, 112,951 from North Carolina. It's all the South. 92,249 from Florida, 88,089 from Georgia, 64,066 from Washington, 55,369 from South Carolina, 48,974 from New York, and 47,636 from Colorado. So that's like, those are the top.
It's like, dude, well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Those are the most populated areas of the coastals areas.
I mean, yeah, well, like, not like, well, I guess Georgia is pretty populated, but like North Carolina is too.
And there's a lot of bases, like a shit ton of bases in like, I think, over half the states you named.
I think that's the big one. Is like where the base is at, because, you know, dumbass kids want to grow up and be like their fucking dad that wasn't there half their life. He was killing brown kids in fucking overseas and saying he was doing it for America.
Yeah, or a brown kid killed his dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, because it's not women. Like nobody cares their mom got killed by a brown dude.
Yeah, honestly, overseas. Dude, I was looking at that. There's like not that many women. So I was looking at, I don't know why it popped up on my thing, but I posted about it. But I was looking at the statistical data for suicide from veterans in 2001 to 2007. So this is the height of the Afghanistan war and the height of Iraq, like the first time. And like it came out that non-deployed people fucking killed themselves way more. But in there, they were talking about like females, and like there was like hardly any data for like combat deployed females.
That's because there's like hardly any.
Yeah, there was. I mean, literally like the number of women from that time that killed themselves that had combat experience was 5.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So
well,
like,
that's
I
because
mean,
there
that
was probably
doesn't. Yeah.
well, it was probably like they probably didn't include the other number. There was like 10 that were actually deployed into combat, so it's like a 50%
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah.
Or like it's
was,
so infinitesimally small that we're not going to bring it up.
yeah, like I was just like, oh, there's like insufficient data. And I was like, oh, let's just wait until this woke shit goes through and more women go fight China or whatever's coming.
Dude, I've heard a couple of different people now talk about like you know, trans women going into, or male to female trans women, so they transition to being female, going into sports and things like that. And a lot of them are like, it's not my fucking problem anymore. It's not like I watch women's sports, so let the women deal with it. They can fucking deal with it however they want. And I'm like, dude, honestly, that's how I fucking feel at this point. Like, if they actually care, then they can fucking stand up for themselves and talk about it. But I'm not gonna be white knighting this shit anymore, because, well, and it's not like I really white knighted it before, but it's like what argument do I have? We're like, no, they're gonna hurt women. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
like
The
fuck,
only
dude.
one, yeah, the only one I think people care about was the UFC. Like, I didn't really give a shit about the Olympics.
I don't care about the UFC either. Let them fucking, let it fucking happen, dude. If until the women start standing up and being like, fuck that, I'm not fighting this person, then
Yeah.
if they're not gonna stand up, if there's gonna be women that take the fight because they're like, fuck it, I'll take this fight, then let them take the fight. Fuck them.
Isn't Dwayne Wade's son transgender?
Yeah.
Dude, what what if he like joined the WNBA, dude?
Well, he's not. He just got. There's a whole thing with his son because his Dwayne Wade, he owns like part of the farm team in Utah, I think, or it's, I don't know, maybe it's not Utah. It's one of the, he owns one of the farm teams, one of the teams that it's like a AAA team for baseball, basically, but for basketball. It's like a D League team. He got or his son got a spot on the team when he didn't even get drafted. And so but it's on the team that his dad partly owns. So it's like, everybody's like, this dude's not even fucking good. Like, don't stop letting him. So I could totally see him being like, I'm transitioning now and go and play in the WNBA. And I mean, he'll be good there because, I mean, shit, we saw Chicago after they won the fucking WNBA championships. At least Zaire can fucking dunk a ball.
Super COVID spreader event, dude. That was so, there was so many people in the streets for the Chicago Sky. Is that what it is?
Yeah, all the tens of people that were there. The tens of people that were there.
Dude, the video that was
so depressing. I actually feel really bad for them because they're like a phenomenal basketball team. Like they're really good, and there's a lot of really good. There's some Hall of Famers on that team, and they're like,
they beat the Mercury.
I know, and the Mercury's fucking phenomenal. Like, if there's a women's basketball team that I would say go watch, it would be the Mercury, because at least they're exciting for comparatively. But they beat the Mercury, and I didn't watch a single thing, and I have no fucks. Don't care.
Yeah, the only thing I knew is like when I got to Phoenix, it was like a couple years in, and people are like, "Oh, the Phoenix Mercury or whatever," and I was like, "Who the fuck is the Mercury?" And they're like, "Oh, it's the girls' basketball team," and I was like, "Oh," and then someone's like, "They're actually really good. Like, no one watches them, but they're actually like have won like the last 2 times. Like, they're actually like pretty good." And I'm like, "Oh, no one fucking cares," because I never knew that, and I lived there for like 2 years.
Yeah,
and
they probably have the highest turnout compared to like other WNBA teams. They probably get the highest turnout.
Who's that girl that's on the Mercury?
Well, there's Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner. They're like the 2 big stars. Diana Taurasi was like the Steve Nash of the Phoenix Mercury. And she's a monster. She's really good. She'd probably destroy majority of the people that we know. Men. Well, yeah. In basketball. But and then Brittany Griner's 6'9", and she had a dunk. She had a wide open dunk, mind you, in during the finals, and everybody freaked out, and even the Suns players freaked out because they were there watching the game. It's this really sad dunk. Like, it's like, she's 6'9", bro. Like, it's like, you better be throwing down. Like, I was trying to explain this to to somebody like, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, they can't jump. It's not white men can't jump. It's fucking women of all races cannot fucking jump. I swear to God, dude. She's 6'9" and she barely got it over the rim on a drop step dunk. I was doing drop step dunks in fucking high school. And she did it one-handed. She's got like a 7-8 wingspan. And
yeah, dude. I think I remember that because ESPN like freaked out and put it all over like Instagram and shit.
And it's like, bro, like, I'm sorry.
It was like, oh, cool, like they can dunk now. And then like, dude, the fucking comments on ESPN Instagram was just, there was like a couple blue check marks at the top, like, get it, fucking woman, beast mode, blah blah blah. Then all of them are just savage, savages.
Dude. It was just like depressing. It was like, wow, like this is where we're at in women's sports. And don't get me wrong, they're getting better. And they're fun to bet on. Like it's usually an easier bet. You can usually tell who's going to win, and the spread is easier to bet on. Fuck, that's the only reason why I watch it, and I don't even usually watch it. I just like bet on the game, and then I'll look at my phone when it comes up.
Yeah, the video of Chicago Sky like going downtown or whatever, like you could literally hear only one person cheering and clapping. And it reminded me of that old, I don't know if you've seen this, but Family Guy had a little skit, and it was like, oh, the women's basketball game, and you know, they made it looked all boring and whatever, and like, this game is the most exciting game for the fan. And it turns to the one fan in the crowd. He's like, yay. That's
so
what it reminded me
up.
of.
So funny though, dude. It's just like, it's like, I want them to get better. Like, I can't wait for the day where, you know, men and women can play sports together and it's like an entertaining game, and it's not per capita. It's because they're equal in, you know, athleticism, but I don't think I'll live to see that day.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know,
either.
maybe, but
I mean, if they let all these trans women in, dude, it'll get really competitive, bro. It'll be like, damn, dude.
Trans women are real women, bro.
Oh my God. Well, speaking of dying women, that happened literally today.
Oh yeah,
as we're recording.
Was that today? I thought it was like yesterday. Wasn't it last night? I think it was yesterday.
Oh, well, maybe it was, but I didn't see it till this morning, so I just assumed.
That's all that matters.
Happened. Yeah, I mean, the article I saw was like 3 hours, so like 3 hours ago. So I was like, oh shit, dude, Alec Baldwin just. Well, he was like.
No scope, bitch.
Have you seen the movie The Crow?
Yeah, I mean, that's what happened to Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son.
Yeah. Dude, what if Alec Baldwin was working on the Crow set, dude?
Yeah, and it's just following him around. He's actually like taking out people from showbiz.
Dude, but like the internet, I mean, this guy dug himself a fucking grave. For anyone that doesn't know yet, Alec Baldwin, when filming of his new movie Rust, which is a Western apparently, he, I guess, was given a gun that either a prop gun, actually couldn't have been a prop gun. It was a gun which he thought had blank rounds.
I think it was a prop gun, and they put or it was a gun that was supposed to have blanks in it, I think.
Yeah, it was a gun that had he thought had blanks in it. And well, the funny thing is though, is he shot 2 people.
I think it was with one shot.
What?
Yeah, I think he did 2 birds, 1 stone. I don't know. That's what I've heard so far. I haven't really read into it. I got home and we jumped on, but
yeah, well, I mean, it's very possible too that like, so I was thinking about this. If he's filming a scene and they're like, we need you to fire, just unload, like, and then look at the camera or something, and he just fires. I mean, if he fires the first shot and he thinks it's a blank, and then he just goes to shoot another one. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I could see it. I could see him shooting 2 people.
It still kicks. Like, it's not like it's like blanks are a normal, almost a normal round, except they don't have the ballistic part or like the actual bullet part of it. And I mean, it still goes off, and something still has to get ejected, and it still's got the. There was another dude that did it on a movie set. He was fucking around with blanks and put it to his head and pulled the trigger, and he killed himself. I don't remember who that was. But he did that because, you know, something still comes out. Sometimes it's like a wire inside there that's projected. Like stuff still comes out of a fucking blank. The gas and everything still gets ejected from it because it's got to create the burst that it creates inside to make the noise. And it's like, yo, like you don't just put that against your fucking head and you don't shoot it at people. And it's like one of the biggest fucking actors that has been super against you know, guns and everything, shoots 2 people because he doesn't understand gun safety during his own fucking movie.
Yeah, he actually tweeted like in 2017 or something, like, I wonder what it would be like to accidentally kill someone. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. And he was retweeting like some article about some cop shooting. I don't really know if that one was like justified or not. I didn't really look into it, but it was like just his tweet itself was like, well, how does it feel, dude? Is it does it feel good? Do you feel bad?
Yeah, what's up, bro? Like what's it feel like to accidentally take somebody's life and severely injure another person with a gun?
Yeah, dude. And it's so it's honestly kind of crazy, like when you hear about it on like, you know, I don't know, when you hear about like happening in the past, you're like, oh man, they're just not taking the proper safety precautions on these movie sets.
Yeah.
And you would think they would like kind of learn, like, I don't know, man. I want to know, like, I want to know, like, who the fuck, why would they use live rounds at all?
I honestly don't think that it had live rounds. I think it is probably something, because I also haven't seen it though, because a couple of things that I've seen said that they weren't using live rounds, that they're still under investigation. They don't know if they used the live rounds or not. And so like, that's the big thing where it's like, just use like, you know, proper gun handling techniques and, you know, don't point anything you don't intend to fucking kill. Like, Jesus Christ, it's not that fucking hard.
Treat, never keep, buddy.
Yeah. Like it's not that fucking crazy. Even if you want to get a good shot, like, all right, line it up, step out of the way, let him do the scene, and then come back to it. Like, fuck, I wouldn't want to be the camera person sitting there. Like, even if like I knew it wasn't loaded or whatever, like I'd be like, nah, man, like I'm not standing in front of this fucking gun as it's going off. Like, who knows what could come out of that bitch.
Yeah, I hope it comes out in like a couple days that like on the set of John Wick, Keanu Reeves used all live rounds for the scenes.
Didn't hit anybody.
No, he like murdered 50 people.
Oh. Actually, all the people humans were harmed in the making of this movie. Like,
yeah, dude. He was just murdered like 50 people and it just comes undone, dude.
Dude, I don't know. The whole thing is wild, and it's the fact that it's Alec Baldwin. Like, it couldn't have happened to a better person. You know what I mean? Like, just
yeah. Well, this guy's kind of an asshole, and he became like.
Oh, I don't mean better as in like good. I mean like better as like the best punchline ever.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I don't know if it could. I mean, this guy, like, he was the Saturday Night Live Trump impersonator.
Yeah,
like, he was always on there. I remember seeing tons of clips from all these lefty people sharing Eric Baldwin about how this is exactly how Trump is. And like, don't get me wrong, you know, he was good at acting like Trump. It just wasn't very funny.
Yeah.
But
there was a lot better jokes that they could have made.
Yeah, it could have been way funnier, but he did have a pretty good impersonation of Trump.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy that this guy who, like, you know, he's big time Hollywood actor, had all these like crazy tweets about how, like, he literally was saying, I mean, about people that was hunting like elephants, what is like in giraffes or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, shoot these people. And it's like,
and he shoots his production designer or some shit like that.
Yeah, he's killing white women, dude. I mean
thank God.
He took that, like, white women must be stopped a little too seriously.
Yeah. Like, thank God. At least it was a white woman instead of a person of color, because then it would have been like on purpose or something, and we would have found out that Alec Baldwin raped like 13 girls, and I mean, I'm pretty sure he did that. We're just not finding out about it right now. They're still keeping it quiet because he's still a anti-gun nut.
Would you rather be sexually molested by Harvey Weinstein or shot by Alec Baldwin?
Alec Baldwin, shot by Alec Baldwin. I think Harvey Weinstein is that dude's intense, man. That's like, you know, the from 1984, like the pigs, how they like start standing on 2 feet. That's Harvey Weinstein. Like he's like, that dude's a gluttonous monster. Like there's got to be chicken wings stored under those fat. Like that guy's got grease on his body constantly. I don't want to deal with all that.
Yeah, he is pretty disgusting. Like
if I had to get molested by somebody, I'd rather it be like a Channing Tatum, because then it'd be like.
What would you rather be molested by, Baldwin?
I don't know. They're kind of the same. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't have to worry about Alec Baldwin molesting me. Like Harvey Weinstein's also imposing. He's like 6'6". He's like huge. And he's got the weight to hold me down. I don't think Alec Baldwin can hold me down.
This is very possible. What if he has a gun though? He'll have a gun, dude. We know he uses guns.
He's got a gun. Oh my God, he's got a gun. I don't know. I'd probably just let him shoot me at that point.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't move. Just make my fucking day.
Yeah,
I'm doing jumping jacks in front of you.
Fucking, I'd try to run, but apparently he's a good shot, dude. Dude, he's killing people and he's not meaning to, dude. So, what happens when he tries?
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, dude, that shit was wild. The other celebrity media news, since we talked about it last week, was John Gruden came out and said about his emails. He's like, it's like the headline reads, ex-Raiders coach John Gruden says the truth will come out about email scandal. I don't know what he means by that. I don't know if that means what's already come out is not the truth, but I still think Roger Goodell is an anti-football pussy. So,
yeah, dude.
That truth has been out for a while.
It's so frustrating. So it's really frustrating because you come to the realization that like the corporate press is trying to present itself with a narrative. Yeah. And I always look at that like with political stuff and I'm like, oh fuck, dude. Like these people are trying to lie to me and manipulate me.
Yeah.
But then I look at, sports, and when they talk about whatever athlete, I'm like, oh, that's a really good point. But now then I see them go on about like, we see Stephen A. Smith going after Kyrie Irving for not getting vaccinated. We see a couple other like commentators go ham on Gruden talking shit. And I'm like, dude, what if
Randy Moss crying on fucking national television?
And then that white girl.
Yeah.
And that white commentator right next to him is like, your story's so touching or whatever. I sympathize for what you're going through.
It's like, how many people in Randy Moss's past are like, 18-year-old white girls that he met at a fucking club. Like there's got to be so fucking many. Like you're fucking.
Dude.
Let's talk about like, OJ Simpson or Ray fucking Lewis, and we're going to murder, and we're going to talk about racism in the NFL and how John, you couldn't work under John Gruden in the NFL because of, he said another dude had Michelin tire shaped fucking lips. Like, bro, I want to know how many times Randy Moss got called a faggot in practice by his teammates. Like, that's how, shit, dude. How many times did you get called faggot in practice by your teammates in high school? Can only imagine how much worse it got as you got older.
Dude, I got called faggot by my coach, bro. Like it was normal.
And you know what? You grow up because it's like, what the fuck is the word faggot gonna do to me?
Yeah. And that's the thing, dude, is like, there's a lot of dark secrets that that happens to these athletes, let alone if it's, some sort of domestic dispute charge or, some I mean, hell, dude, there was like, really famous like football players that had, had what was that called?
The CTEs.
Yeah, the CTEs. And they would go around, like one dude like murdered his wife and kids and then shot himself.
Yeah.
Like then they start crying about emails about some dude saying some inappropriate stuff 11 years ago. Like,
yeah,
bro,
and the stuff that
there's
people
so
are
much
like,
more.
people are like, oh, it was 3 years ago, and it was like the stuff that was 3 years ago. Almost all of it was pointed at Roger Goodell, who is literally appointed by the United States government. So I don't want to hear shit about how we got to defend Roger Goodell's fucking honor. Like, he can go suck a dick. He's an anti-football pussy. And like, fuck it, dude. Like, and I think that's where John Gruden's going with all this, is that it's gonna come out that he thinks Roger Goodell is gonna go down, and it's like, bro, you're burnt. You're on burn notice. You're not gonna have a job anymore. You start a podcast. Like, that's all I got for you. Maybe you can get some viewers.
Dude, John Gruden could have a pretty good podcast.
Dude, he's hilarious.
He was pretty funny. I had clips of him at like practice and stuff. It's hilarious.
His emails were hilarious. Let's be honest here. Like, those were fucking funny ass emails, bro.
Dude, what if he starts a podcast and then just starts like dogging on Roger Goodell?
Dude, that'd be great. Like, I would like, it would be
Barstool
so good.
Barstool Sports would pick that podcast up.
Sign him now. Like, fuck. Dude, if we could be like the I feel like if we got to choose our career path, I feel like we could be the ones that would we could choose talent for places where, like, these people fit together. Go shoot, and we just take a cut. Yes. Like, I feel like we could do that so well.
What is that? An agent?
Yeah, I get. Well, yeah. Sure. If we could be agents, we'd be good agents. I'm trying to think of some other good matches that we've called out over the years. I'm not going to think of any right now.
Nope.
But we've done it so many times where it's like, these two, if they made a match and they worked together, like, it'd be phenomenal. Both businesses would grow exponentially.
Yeah, Netflix, like, they should do a documentary. Like, I wish Donald Trump came out with a documentary, like, about him in the presidency.
That'd be hilarious.
I think it would be the funniest
thing. Can Dave Chappelle narrate it?
It's just Snoop Dogg, dude. But what was it? Oh, did you see Trump launched his like social media site?
No, I didn't see that.
It already has been taken down because his account got hacked, and he was posting like hogs having sex from his main account. And
hey, you can't be posting Kamala Harris's sex tapes like that. No.
I see what you did there.
But that's hilarious. That what do you know? You probably don't know, but I was gonna ask, like, who hosted it? Was it like Amazon servers that hosted it, or what?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think that was the reason. I think Donald Trump himself, or like the company that ran it, I think they took down because like a bunch of accounts got hacked immediately.
What did you post? It was like something from Donald Trump, and it was like, I wish he was still here. It was like a memo or something that.
I'll read it. Dude. It's good. So I don't think we talked about this on the podcast yet, but Colin Powell died.
Yes. So I'll go find him in hell when I'm there.
Yeah. Colin Powell was the Secretary of State, I believe, for George Bush.
Yeah, he's the only black guy you see from that era in the White House.
Yeah, and he's famously known for lying to the UN about Iraq's weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, he gave his whole fucking speech and.
Yep, and October 19th he died.
Thank God.
And it was pretty cool too, because war criminal was trending on Twitter after he died. But good old Donald Trump basically sent out a tweet. I mean, it's a statement from the Donald Trump's desk.
It got retweeted like a tweet, dude. That shit was everywhere. I just didn't read it.
But it says, "Wonderful to see Colin Powell, who made a big mistakes on Iraq and famously so-called weapons of mass destruction. be treated in death so beautifully by the fake news media.
Oh God.
Hope that happens to me someday. He was a classic rhino, even if even that, always being the first to attack other Republicans. He made plenty of mistakes, but anyway, may he rest in peace.
Jesus Christ, dude! What is up with the hero worship of the Bush era by the Democrats? What is that?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I think it's because like I kind of think that they always liked George Bush.
I
Like,
think
at
everybody
least
kind of likes George Bush.
Like the Democrat elite liked George Bush. I mean, Hillary Clinton supported all of his wars. I mean, the corporate press basically helped spread the propaganda to get America into those wars. So like they kind of liked them at the time, but I think there came a time where like public opinion under George Bush was so bad that they kind of had to criticize him. And they did it at a convenient time. Like it wasn't until like 2005 or 6 at the like second half of his second presidency when they didn't need him anymore.
Yeah.
So
because they kind of pushed Kerry. Like they did push Kerry for a while during the run up to like it was Kerry versus Bush. And they pushed him hard. It seemed like they pushed Kerry pretty hard. But I just remember everybody being like, yeah, fuck Kerry. We're going to stay with
you can't change presidents when you're in the middle of a war, Luke. Everyone knows that. But yeah, good old Colin Powell. So we have Donald Rumsfeld that died earlier this year. Now we got Colin Powell, and he was weird. He was like double vaccinated.
Yeah, and they said he died from COVID-19
related causes.
Related or not? It wasn't even that. It was like complications or something like that. They worded it, and then who was it? It was fucking who was everybody retweeting because they put out a fucking thing on Colin Powell, and they said like rest in peace or something like that. And it's like a very it's a very anti
Public Enemy.
Yeah, Public Enemy. And they put out something for Colin Powell, dude. Like everybody's like, stop. Just stop. Like, dude, I love the outpour of all the like normal people that are like, yeah, he was a fucking cock. Why are we sucking his dick right now? Like, who the fuck is this? Like, who the fuck are you people? We all hated this guy because he lied us into this fucking war. And like CNN sucking his dick, like fucking Fox News sucking his dick. Like all these people were sucking his dick. And I think the only person that really didn't was Steve, or no, not Steve. What's the fucking Tucker Carlson. He didn't really suck his dick. He doesn't really pull
I didn't see what he said. I didn't see what he said, but yeah, dude, it's like and people will be like make excuses for him, like so they made it seem like he was the guy, like the good guy in the Bush administration. Like he was the one good, like he was the one that was, it took him a lot longer to convince him on the Iraq part. Like he was the guy that was always, I don't know about this Iraq thing. We were told we're going to Afghanistan, and he did. I mean, to his credit, at first he was not on board with this whole Iraq war thing. But
he jumped on board real quick when he found out what money he was gonna make.
Probably, dude.
Well, and it's like, does the DNC forget what the movie Dick they put out like fucking 5 years ago about Dick Cheney? It didn't portray Colin Powell very well in that movie either.
Yeah, but they make it seem like when he went to the UN and brought those drawings of weapons that they had and like the vials that was supposed of like uranium or something, and I don't know what was in it because there was just no evidence at all. And the evidence that they did have was like they tortured it out of some guy in Guantanamo Bay, and the guy basically, I mean, when you're torturing someone, like they'll tell you anything to stop.
It's literally proven. Like people revert back to a state of childhood and will do whatever they can to get out of the pain.
Yeah, you want to make it stop. So that was like their evidence, and they told Colin Powell and convinced him apparently and he went up to go give the speech to the UN, and he blatantly lied to the United Nations of like 130 countries or whatever, and then lied to the American people. And then people would turn around and say like it was like, oh, he just, that was the one thing he really screwed up in his time. It's like the one thing he really screwed up. You mean like the moment where like America's on the edge of going into Iraq war? On that moment where like if not everyone's on board because it was so unfavorable with the American people, that if there was one guy in the Bush administration that would have been like, hey, this is bullshit, we shouldn't be doing this, maybe we wouldn't have gone. But instead he went up and lied and got us into Iraq and got millions of Iraqis killed and thousands of US soldiers. I mean, like, Jesus Christ. They act like that's like, oh, that was just that one tiny thing. Dude, he screwed up.
People act like the screw up of millions of lives is like, oh, it's just an accident.
Yeah.
You can't. What do you expect? He doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah. And
he made a mistake.
We're gonna look back at like this whole shit. It's like Jen Psaki, like right now saying Jen Psaki or whatever the fuck that redheaded cunt bitch's name is. Talking about how why there's so many fucking transport ships in the fucking Bay Area right now, and she's like, oh, that's because people have money and they're spending and they just didn't catch up to supply. And it's like, bitch, are you serious,
dude?
What are you talking about right now? What are we talking about?
It was either the Washington Times or the Washington Post. I can't remember which one.
We're just going to have to get used to having less stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was like, you shouldn't be upset about shortages and empty shelves. You should be lowering your expectations.
Yeah, dude. And that's right. Like, how long have I been saying this shit, bro? I'm saying they're coming. Like this whole Great Reset bullshit. It's not what everybody's saying the Great Reset is. Yeah, I get it. It's in the World Economic Forum and blah, 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 blah. No, they're coming for this shit. They're coming for UBI. They're coming for it, dude. I'm telling you right now, we're going to get a bread card, punch hole fucking card like you do at Dunkin' Donuts currently to get your free coffee on the 10th one. And we're going to get fucking bread punch cards, but each one, that's how much bread you get for the fucking month. You're just going to be like, here's my punch card. And they're going to be like, we told you to lower your expectations. This is your fault that you're not lowering expectations. It's not our fault that supply and demand broke down. And it's like, supply and demand didn't break down, bitch. We need the supply. You guys are fucking up the demand.
Hopefully there's like hot chicks in the bread line, dude. Hey, what's up? You getting some bread today? Me too.
Yeah. Hey, yo, how's it going? We getting bread today? Yeah, bread is gonna take on a whole new fucking meaning because right now bread means fucking money, and there ain't gonna be no money where we're going, Johnny. Like, we're fucking going straight to fucking USSR 1962, where there's fucking gulags all out the wazoo, and people are getting Chernobyled up in fucking Michigan.
Yeah, I think right now, like, no one in this moment, like, if you would say that, and people would be like, oh, Luke, you're just a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
You're overthinking. You're extremely afraid of the government for no reason. But like, dude, after these past 2 years, anything's on the fucking table now. Like anything's on the table, dude.
We're up for everything right now, and it's like, and we're okay with it. Like, there's just people. Dude, I hate going to my job every day. I hate going to my job every day because I'm sitting here like, dude, we're on the, like, I can feel it. I can feel it the way people don't talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't talking about it. And it's like, yo, there's some like real fucked up shit right now. Like, and we're not talking about, it's like when you know, fucking grandma has cancer and your mom hasn't spoken about grandma except how good grandma was today that she went and saw her. And it's like, no, I saw grandma too. Her skin is fucking pale as shit. She's on her deathbed. Thanksgiving is next week. I know she's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, she's gonna die the day before, the day after Thanksgiving. I know it. It's gonna happen because that's the way the world fucking works. Well, you keep telling me everything's rainbows and butterflies, and grandma's gonna die soon. Can we just be honest about this? Because when grandma dies and you haven't talking about it this whole time, you're going to be real fucking upset because now you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. And it's like, Mom, I'm fucking 16 years old. Grandma's not looking too hot.
Yeah.
She hasn't been looking. What? We moved her to hospice. What do you think happens at hospice, Mom? Come on, Mom. We know what happens at hospice. That means the hospital said, fuck you. She's going to die soon. We don't need her here anymore. So, like, that's what's happening right now in the United States. The economy is collapsing. Everybody's like, I'm living my best life. The restrictions are basically over.
Yeah, dude, it is done. Weird.
And it's like,
it is.
No, bro. Like, there's a lot happening right now.
It is. It's like, dude, it's like, honestly, I've never, okay, I mean, we are far off from anything like Nazi Germany. But I understand how it could happen because there's just a bunch of people.
Nazi Germany took 4 years.
Well, there's a bunch of people fucking hanging out and, you know, like they know everyone. I talk to people here, like everyone kind of knows something's wrong.
Something's really wrong.
Something's really wrong with this country. Like not everyone has an answer. And not everyone like really knows what's wrong. A lot of people just blame the opposite political party that they align with or whatever. Like sometimes there's some people that just don't fucking get it. But like everyone has this inkling like,
Sums up.
Something's going on and it's getting a little uncomfortable.
But they won't talk about it. They won't talk about it.
And if you talk about it,
coming from like the most like therapized, or I don't even think that's a fucking word, but like you know, people that use the most therapy in the entire history of the world, where all they want to do is tell you to talk about your fucking trauma constantly, and these people won't talk about the biggest trauma that's going to hit them in the fucking face.
Yeah, like things are just weird. And like I like, you know, it like just because maybe that I pay attention probably too much, I don't know, maybe not enough, but maybe I pay attention too much. But like I kind of like can prepare myself, like I at least mentally. Like you're like, yeah, like
I'm just at the point where it's like I'm fucking numb. Like at this point, I'm fucking numb. Like it's like I've been drinking all night and I've been raw dogging a girl for fucking 3 hours, and I'm like, I'm not gonna come. I don't feel anything down there anymore. I'm just staying alive until you do.
Yes, yeah, I get that, dude. And that's when you like, you know, really try to choke her. Maybe she'll pass out, but.
Hopefully she's as drunk as you are and like goes to sleep halfway through. And then you realize she has been asleep for a while. I mean,
and that's when you finish.
Dude, it's just so I hate going to my job. I drive to work at 5:30 every morning. Go turn on my truck at 5:30 because now I got a fucking GPS in this bitch. So I'm sitting there, turn it on at 5:30, and I sit in my truck for like 5 minutes, and I just think like, why am I doing this? This isn't going to matter. I'm working in a career that is literally not going to exist because who's going to give a fuck about fire alarm inspections in 3 years? It's not even going to exist. We're going to barely have fucking buildings at that point. Like, what the fuck is this? Why am I here? This truck barely works. I'm upset. My arm doesn't fucking work. I need to go to the fucking doctor, but they're all fucking 10 fucking week waits. And I'm like, yo, what are we doing right now? What are we actually doing? And I just sit here and I'm thinking, I'm like, thank God I have a dog and I have a girlfriend. And I'm like very appreciative of the stuff that I do have because it's not going to last very long. My dog's going to die 10 minutes into this thing because he's got fucking anxiety. My girlfriend's going to want to save half her family, but she's Hispanic. So there's like 30 of them. I can't be traveling around with a 30-yard or a 30-person fucking gang. I'm like, what? Shit, I'm going to be living up in the fucking mountains by myself, not having a good time. Just straight up not having a good time, dude.
Yeah, dude. I couldn't, you know, like, do you think, like, the people in Rome were like, a couple years before the collapse, dude, I bet there was, that's what it was, dude. Those guys on the street that are screaming like,
the end is nigh.
The end is coming. The end, like a homeless dude in New York, like the end is coming. And everyone's just like, whatever, dude. Just get your vaccine and wear your mask. And
bro.
It's
and here we are doing a podcast, drinking beer.
Like that. It's like that's the thing. Like we're supposed to be worried about.
I feel like Woody Harrelson in 2020 and 2012. Like I'm just a guy on a fucking mountain yelling at the top of my lungs with like missing teeth and shit. Didn't he have like a missing arm or something? I don't know, but he's just like Woody Harrelson in 2012. Remember the guy that's like on top of the fucking mountain saying that the super volcano in Yellowstone's gonna blow? Maybe it's not 2012. Yeah, 2012.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah,
in the 2012 movie.
Yeah,
dude. When you were saying in 2012,
not
I was like,
actually in 2012.
But that's what I was thinking. I was like, dude, I don't remember that at all.
Change your name back to Bitch Boy. Fucking no, like he's just sitting there, and the dude's he's fucking getting drunk every night. And he's the
crazy guy in a trailer,
but like
and
John
he's like on a radio.
Yeah, but John Cusack's like a fucking, feels something going on. Doesn't understand quite what it is. Feels something going on, but he's getting hammered every night, waking up late to go pick up his daughter from the mom's house, and decides to take the mom the fucking kid to goddamn Yellowstone National Park for the weekend while he's writing his fucking book. And then everything goes to shit. And I feel like that's how it's going to be. And I don't want to be fucking John Cusack going to fucking Yellowstone when it's about to explode.
Dude, that honestly is a good analogy, because like we're watching as they're printing more money. The big elite corporations are getting a bunch of the money that's being printed. And it's like the Noah's Ark, dude. They're building and trying to like give all the wealth and security to the elite upper class.
Yeah, the ones they sold the tickets to the fucking Ark.
Yeah, dude. And then we're just gonna be amongst ourselves fighting for survival, panicking as the economy comes to a crash. And I'll hopefully
I was
betting on Bitcoin, so I'm like stacking sats. Hopefully this is worth something. Like I'll be like, hey sir, can I have some bread for my fake digital money? And they'll be like, get the fuck out of here, Jew. I'm like, oh, okay.
You fucking maximalist.
It's like, do you have any ammo or bread? No. Get the fuck off my property. Like, god damn it, car.
Yeah, this motherfucker. I'm gonna go live with him and make him take care of me because I put all my money into goddamn Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's just wild. Like, honestly, dude, it's like I feel like a tingle up my spine. Like we're sitting there, like my girl and I will sit there and watch TV shows at night, like before we go to bed, and I'm just like, I feel antsy because I feel like shit is about to happen, and I'm just like, whatever, it's gonna happen. Nothing.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna fucking do about it? Because I mean, if I'm wrong, and hopefully I am fucking wrong, and like it peacefully dissolves like the USSR, which I highly fucking doubt because the American populace is so fucking high strung on goddamn amphetamines that when shit crashes, we go out and buy fucking toilet paper. I don't know. It's just like we're fucked, dude.
Well, I would say so the same way that people are like, Americans are too much of like pussy bitches to have a boogaloo, like a revolution. Like we're too privileged. We're not fucking doing that. And I think the kind of the same way about like a civil war. Like, I don't think the other side, like, I don't know if we'll be on the good side or bad side. It depends on who's paying me. What I'm saying? But all I'm saying is like, if red and blue states, like, I don't know, we'll just say Texas, because that seems to be the popular one. Say Texas is like, we're done. We're out.
Yeah.
We're not part of this. We're leaving. And then the big, like the scare is that they think a bunch of like people from blue states or half the military that's from Texas is going to come invade Texas and be like, yeah, you can't do that, motherfucker. But like, honestly, I feel like most people in like the blue areas will be like, well, they can't do that. And then they just did it. And it's like, someone stop them, but there's no one to stop them, but they'll all be on Twitter being like, stop them. You can't do that. But no one's gonna stop them because we're all privileged pussy bitches.
I don't know, man. I think people hold on to the idea of the United States, and we have to be united. And if we're not united, then we're gonna make people be united. Like,
yeah.
Oh, you're not an active part of society. Go to jail for 7 years and get a felony on your fucking charge.
Well, I always. My key sign to when like it actually might happen is when you start seeing like corporate media talking about it. If they start talking about it and presenting it as like this evil based in racism, I mean, I think they'll throw everything at this.
Oh yeah.
If it ever comes to where like some states seriously considering to secede, everything's come. I mean, how they all went after Trump, I feel like the same thing's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, obviously that's how they have to do it. But I don't think there's enough calling from red states to actually secede yet.
Oh, not at all. Not even close.
So they're not even worried about it. They're like, well, wait, we'll cross that bridge once we get to it, like they do with everything fucking else.
Yep.
They're probably ramping up the arguments right now. They're like they're brainstorming in their fucking CNN closets.
Would it be a white pill or a black pill when the corporate press starts talking about it?
Oh, it's a black pill. Well, it's like both. So like, it's like, all right, cool. It's about to happen. Somebody's going to secede, but it's also like, that's the white pill. Like somebody's actually going to have the balls to try to secede. And then the black pill is like, now we're going to fucking go kill all of them. Like, yeah, I feel like they don't care, and they'll get it's all about numbers, man. It's all about fucking numbers. And if like
I don't think it's a numbers game.
I think the numbers game is like the amount of states. Like I don't think just Texas can secede. And then like Louisiana's like, dude, what the fuck? Like you guys can't be seceding. Like I think it's got to be like the Mason-Dixon line has to secede. Well, and even then, I think that might actually look worse and play into the fucking fear just as much. But I think that's what happens in these things anyways, is that the obvious trend has already got a stigma towards it, that it's like, it's so easy to play up afterwards that they're just like, see, we told you the racists are seceding. They're going to start slavery over, and it's all the female trans people. They got them working in fields. They don't have enough hair dye.
They're making the trans women compete in women's sports.
They're making them pick the fields, and then they're out of blue hair dye. What are we going to do?
It's shitty too. We need a northern state to succeed. For New Hampshire, you got to step your shit up, dude. It's got to be New Hampshire.
Real. It's because
if it's a southern state, they got everything, dude. They're gonna put Abe Lincoln,
and it's easy. It's easy, and that's the thing. Like the things that happen, it's easy. It's like we predicted, like fucking not predicted, but like obviously assumed how like this COVID thing has gone. Like not at the beginning. The beginning we were like, there's no fucking way they can do all this. There's no fucking way. We said that. But afterwards I was like, look, now that they did this, and now that I realized how powerful they truly are, because so many people are mind numbed by this bullshit, they can get away with fucking anything. And the things that we've said afterwards, things like the double shot, or double shot and now get COVID, or let's mix match fucking shots, or they're going to mandate fucking the government is going to mandate businesses to mandate these things. Like we called those things, and that's because they line up perfectly, because the argument against it is so like, it sounds weak. It's not weak. The argument against or saying businesses shouldn't be the ones mandating this because the government mandated it is like, it's like that step makes it extra, and people are like, well, the businesses can mandate whatever they want, even though they're not actually mandating whatever they want. So it's like that extra step it's so easy to call, and that's why we've been able to say that these things will happen. And I'm telling you, if secession gets brought up, it's going to be everything fucking below the Mason-Dixon line, and they're going to call them racist, and they're going to bring back fucking colored and non-colored fucking water fountains, and fuck, I'd still rather be there,
dude,
because I'm white.
Yes, of course. The only thing I will say, that if you would have asked me in 2014 what was more likely to happen, Donald Trump winning the presidency or Texas seceding, I think I would have gone with Texas seceding.
Yeah, I probably would have said the same thing, but it was also 2014. I didn't know fucking shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like, well, I think even people that were like kind of politically aware would say the same thing. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just saying that, like, you know, Donald Trump getting to the White House was kind of like that, like, oh my God, like, what just happened? Like, what is happening right now? Like, even like me and you were just like, Donald Trump's our fucking president. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Dude, so, like, if that's possible, maybe anything's possible.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I agree. But I also think that it played out well for the Democrats. Like, I think it played out well for the establishment. I'm not saying that all of it has been well, but look at how much power they gained from Donald Trump becoming president.
This is very true.
You know, not just because Donald Trump was president and he granted a lot of powers, which did happen in a certain aspect, but just how much power they got afterwards. And now that's what I said originally from Donald Trump gaining power. I was like, this is a real problem. I got to stop fucking hitting my desk. I was like, this is a real fucking problem. God damn it. And they like, that was the real problem of Donald Trump being a president. It wasn't him being president. It was what they could do after he became president. But I just want to say, they're going to blame everybody below the Mason-Dixon line for having, you know, colored and white fucking water fountains when they don't have it, because they don't have the infrastructure and they're not going to pay for that shit. While the North actually does it, but for black people and white people, like, they're going to be like, people of color and white people, they're going to do it at the fucking same time. But they'll blame, and then be like, no, this is a social service thing, because white people were so bad the entire time of this country that we need to give, you know, people of color and minority communities extra benefits. And yeah, I just wanted to go there with that. But yeah, I think that was the whole thing with Donald Trump, is like, it wasn't that Donald Trump was bad. It was the fact that how much they could grow off of Donald Trump being Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And they did it.
I mean, and there's times in history where the federal government has literally activated the military to, I mean, the Civil War is literally the most famous one. Everyone knows that the federal government drafted a bunch of people from the North and sent them, which is actually kind of funny when you think about, like, they talk about how racist America is today. Like, they talk about how it's so racist, but then they try to convince us that a bunch of white Northerners in 1860 like decided they're gonna go fight against slavery. Like, oh, like, it's so racist today that a bunch of Northerners in 1860 decided, like, we're gonna go save the black people. Like, okay, good one. But there is a bunch of, I mean, Eisenhower activated not the National Guard. He activated the military, and actually to go stop some segregation happening. I think it was in Georgia. I could be wrong. Richard Nixon, he activated, that was at Kent State. And he, or was that, no, that was just the National Guard. I was wrong.
Yeah, that was
but the National Guard, you know, they went and tried to break up some protest and ended up shooting like 4 college kids. So, like,
they deserved it. You know, they were in fucking college. What do you expect?
Yeah, honestly, military going and rolling up on universities,
it's a win for liberty.
I like it, dude. It's a win. That's a win. When the tanks roll up at Harvard, we fucking won, boys.
Where are we dropping, boys? Dude, I like the whole thing with this, like, with right now. It's like that chill up your spine that hasn't gone away. And it's like, it's just, and it hasn't like shaken down your whole spine there. It's just sitting right in the top corner where you're like, about to like, oh, something made me feel weird. You know what I mean? You know, like, oh, something's watching me, but it hasn't gone all the way through your spine yet. And that's how I feel like I'm constantly stuck in that. And it's frustrating because it's like I'm sitting here watching fucking Dark when they're talking about time travel and shit, where I'm sitting here like, dude, the world's about to fucking end as we know it. Like, not the actual world. Like we still got a little bit of time for that. But the world's going to fucking end as we know it because, like, these people are just printing fucking money. These people they're trying to ramp up fucking. Did you see that shit that we got tagged in? They're trying to ramp up fucking us going to Australia. Some Republican governor was trying to get us to go to Australia to, you know, liberate the Australians.
Dude, that'll be good. Like, let's go. Do you imagine fighting Aussie terrorists, dude? like I mean, we're gonna show up like the intention.
They barely have more teeth than Iraqis and Afghanis. Barely.
The intent behind it, I like it. I like the intent. I like the idea of like we're watching a liberal democracy becoming totalitarian, like straight up. Like Australia is literally like, thank God we're not Australian, dude. Yeah. Like it's bad.
Well, I would have died already. So like,
yeah,
I would have had to do something.
Things are bad over there. And I like the intent of this governor. He's like, you know, let's go free those motherfucking Aussies, dude. You know, we fought with them through all this terror war, and now their government's cracking down. I like that. I like that initial intent. Yeah. But, you know, that's the same thing that we tried to do for like the fucking Afghanistan. And there was like 5,000 Taliban when we showed up. And then like 4 years later, there's like 50,000 people that joined the Taliban.
400 Taliban.
Yeah, that's what it was. Some crazy small number of like, are you sure that was that Al-Qaeda or was that Taliban?
Taliban. Like actual Taliban in Afghanistan was like 400.
But whatever. So yeah, so there's like minimum amount of fucking Taliban, not that many, you know, and they weren't even harboring terrorists or whatever. We just blamed them. But whatever went over there, and we're like, yo, you're our enemy now. And they're like,
could you imagine landing in Aussie? They're just like, good day, mate. And you're like, clack, like just fucking shut the fuck up, you terrorist fuck.
Dude. Yeah, dude. Okay. And because like maybe at first they would greet you as liberators, but then one predator drone hits a school and they're like, yo, what the fuck?
Damn, bruh.
Like, yo, get out.
Stop it. I see what they were talking about.
Yeah. And then then they side with the Taliban. And it's like, great. Now we have another enemy.
They start asking China for help because they're closer.
Yeah, I mean, Afghanistan. Taliban is the government of Afghanistan now. So, like, the Afghan government.
Dude, did you see that they made or is that what you were about to say? Sorry, go ahead.
They made like a sort of peace.
They joined the alliance.
Yes, with China, and it was like,
no
people are like,
shit.
People are like, wow, why? Like, okay, this is what it kind of annoys me. It really annoys me, actually, and it's probably because I'm autistic libertarian. But when I see like all these Trump people and they go after Biden for how he handled Afghanistan, okay, sure, him extending Afghanistan or the pullout another like 3 months, bad decision. The military strategical planned and they shut down Kabul airport or whatever. Yeah. All that was terrible planning.
It's garbage.
But if it was Donald Trump and we made that deal and left or whatever, the Taliban would have took over. Like it would not have mattered. Maybe the
deal was with the Taliban in the first place.
Yes. But the Taliban would have taken over right when US troops pulled out. The same scenario of like the Taliban taking over. Now the images of like how people bad it was, maybe that wouldn't have been there as bad. But Donald Trump leaving and pulling out would have resulted in the Taliban taking Kabul within a couple weeks. Like it would just, the same thing would have happened. And then they act like the Taliban siding with China was like such a big surprise. Like, look what Joe Biden did. And it's like, no, you motherfucker. It's because you're sending dumbass kids from this town to go and fight in a war over there and slaughter their people. And then, they're not going to be very happy about us being there. So they're going to fight us. And then when we leave, they're not going to just leave this phony, fake bullshit government in charge. America would do the same thing. If some fucking Chinese decide they're going to take over America for 20 years, install some phony dictator that we don't fucking care about, once China backs out, we're going to be like, we're not settling for this appointed douchebag that no one likes here in this country. We're going to overthrow it and kick him out.
Absolutely.
So it just annoys the fuck out of me. And they're like, oh, fucking, and then, also, like, don't get me wrong, Biden's bad on economics as well, but they act like the inflation's going up because Biden was so bad. Well, Donald Trump didn't help that either. The budget got the biggest budget of the Federal Reserve printing the money came from Donald Trump.
Until now.
Like, it was 1/4 or 1/5 of the budget increase came from Donald Trump. Republican conservative. Like this is not just like Joe Biden, which he's contributing. Sure, he's trying to print more money to get his stupid infrastructure bill passed.
Build Back Better. Well, that's what the one that Trump passed was. It was an infrastructure bill. It happens at the end of the year, the omnibus bill every year.
Great.
And every fucking year it gets bigger and bigger. And I'm like, can the government just shut down? Like, can you guys just not agree? Like, I'd rather you guys just not agree. And then we send all the fucking douchebags that are employed by the federal government home, and they can find real fucking jobs where they actually have to work, because they don't do that in the federal government. Regardless of what you do, you don't fucking work. Let's be honest. And, let's just figure it out from there. But that'll never happen. Sadly, because the government won't shut down, because they got to get their fucking guaranteed pay increase every year. So it's back to fucking Exhibit A, where we're just printing more money, and his Build Back Better program. And did you see his angry video where he looked like a fucking Muppet? Like, I thought it was photoshopped.
It is.
Oh, it is? Okay, so he doesn't have that big of a fucking head.
No, he didn't say, like, his
that shit was
face,
funny.
I thought it was real, so hard. And when I was looking through on Twitter, like, okay, this can't be real. This can't be really his face. And then, like, there was people that were sharing it that were like people that I follow that were like, this is real. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Is this real? And I looked it up, and there was another video, and it's like him normal looking, but he says the same. He says the same shit though.
Well, and then I just love the two quotes side by side. It's like him, and then like a fucking doctor from the Nazi party or something like that, and it's like, our patience is wearing thin, and it's like, I wonder why that sounded familiar.
So he did I think it was today, maybe it was yesterday, but he did a town hall meeting with Anderson Cooper. I don't know if you saw clips from that.
I haven't been on shit. I haven't honestly been on Twitter very much this week. It's hard to hold my phone.
Yeah, I understand that. There's some days that I'll literally, it's kind of hard having like a lot of notifications, especially our Instagram gets a shit ton of notifications. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to deal with politics today.
Yeah. I'll go and post like 4 memes in a row, and then I'm like, all right, I'm backing out. Like, I'm turning off for the day. Let's see how my bets are doing. Oh, fucking sick. I'm losing those too.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm engaged, and sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go out to eat with my family, and I'm not going to look at that shit. We're going to live in our little bubble.
Yeah, dude.
But no, on that, on Anderson Cooper. So he asked him about his mandate and what does he support the mandate for first responders, and if they don't comply, should they be fired, or how he framed it, removed from their position? And Joe Biden said yes and yes, and then got
let's do it
applause from the audience, dude. They just started cheering.
Good. They don't know what it fucking means. So good.
But and then he goes in his explanation. He's like, listen, I waited until July. I gave them plenty of time to get themselves vaccinated. And he's like, listen, I heard all the excuses. You know, it's about my freedom. And he goes, oh, my freedom to kill people. And the crowd starts fucking cheering, dude. And I was like, oh my God. You know what I was thinking, dude? Was that Star Wars quote when
this is
they
how
give
democracy dies.
Yes, with thunders of applause. Yeah, when they give all the executive power to Emperor Palpatine because they're at war or whatever. And I was watching that, dude, and I was like, God fucking damn it, dude. It's literally happening, dude. And he just the idea that your president can just like nonchalant, like act like it's no big deal. He's just like, listen, I gave them all the way until July. Like, what? You gave who, motherfucker? Like, you're just gonna force that shit on all of us and we're supposed to comply? Like, no questions that, like, oh, thank you for giving us time to make the decision on our own. But if we don't make the decision, it's mandated. Like,
yeah,
that's just the way that they talk about how they think about us and how they think about like freedom. And it's just like, when you look at that, I'm like, fuck, dude.
And then they'll be the ones yelling about civil freedoms, like civil liberty in the fucking streets. Yeah. And it's like, bro, like, I'm not going to pay for you to dye your hair every week. Like, I'm not going to. You don't, dude, like, fuck you.
Did you see?
Care about your drug addiction.
I shared it on our Instagram, but did you see the former CDC director said, so he's like the medical advisor for the governor of Maryland. And he said that, I know a lot of people think that the number of deaths is coming from the unvaccinated, but he's like, I can tell you right now that 40% of the people that are dying from COVID are vaccinated in the state of Maryland.
I think I saw that. Yeah, I think I saw that one. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And but we fucking knew this. We fucking knew this, right? Like, we knew this. It wasn't hard to figure out.
Yeah, we knew the numbers were skewed. We just didn't know. I didn't know how skewed they were. Like, I kind of assumed that like this vaccine did help. Right away, I kind of thought like there's probably side effects, and the side effects could be more deadly, is what I was kind of thinking. Is that like, if you're a healthy person, you probably don't need the vaccine. If you actually have some serious underlying conditions, maybe the vaccine's for you. That was my thinking the whole time. But it appears that the vaccine is, we're probably going to be censored, is not as effective as it was presented to us. And that like 40% of deaths, at least out of Maryland, that this guy said, it was people that were vaccinated. And then today, there was a couple of articles saying that we need to maybe rethink about what we consider to be fully vaccinated. They were referring to that if you need the second booster shot coming that just got approved for emergency purpose for Moderna and I think Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, I saw that today. I got that notification.
So I think,
and that's why they want you to start switching them.
Yep, they're going to start changing the definitions on us, instead of like you getting like your one shot, or I think 2 shot for the Johnson & Johnson or whatever.
Well, it was 2 shots. So it was 2 shots for Pfizer, 2 shots for Moderna, and then the boosters were what they were waiting on getting.
Like 6 months later is when you're supposed to get the booster. And that was something that Alex something, he was just on Joe Rogan. That's something that he was saying, that it looks like the so they're not counting if you die after the vaccine, and if you die within a 14-day window, or if you have some serious side effects, that's when they count it. But after the 14-day window, they don't count it as a side effect from the vaccine if you die or have some serious side effect.
Yeah. And you're not fully vaccinated either, so they won't count you as a vaccinated death. if you die within the 2 weeks of getting your first shot and 2 weeks after your second shot.
Yeah. And and it's like, and there's a bunch of what was it? Dude, this was actually wild. Did you see the Chicago Police Department?
Yeah, like a whole bunch of them walked out.
Yeah, like
like a lot of the
like 300.
And then like a lot of the fire department too, didn't they? They like put their boots at fucking City Hall's fucking.
Yeah, a couple of. I actually don't know the numbers specifically for the fire department, but I know for sure that some of them walked out.
We can't count that high, so.
But yeah, but the interesting thing, okay, we're not, people have listened to this show. We're not the biggest fan of police officers.
Yeah.
We have a lot of grievances and a lot of complaints.
Well, yeah, and most of that's because I don't think that they do what they should do when they should do it.
Yes. But put that aside for a second. Chicago's not the safest place in the fucking world. And when you take away like a significant number of the security force, the monopolized security force, but like just the security force in that city, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? Like, I'm not saying that cops really do a good job, but a lot of security is just the image. Dude, it's just the image.
Let it be.
I mean,
let it go. Let it go.
I'm becoming a fan of Lori Lightfoot, dude.
Oh yeah, the fucking Grim Reaper,
dude. She's just a funny character. Like, I just look at her, and I just like, who like that's how we that's how you know this country is fucked. I'm like, this person is in charge of like the 5th or 6th biggest city in America. How did this happen? Like, this is the state of America right now. We put this gremlin in charge of the 6th biggest city. Are you looking it up?
I'm still here. I was trying to.
Okay, that's what
my internet got.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Biggest cities in the U.S. Chicago's number 3. Yeah. We put this troll human being in charge. So I actually just learned this. Do you know how Chicago does their elections?
No.
So it's like multiple people. Yeah, but I think they kind of do it where like there's multiple people that run for mayor. So it's not just like dude, I love it with the background. Dude, she looks like a mobster, like a woke mobster, dude.
Shut the fuck up, typewriter.
But she like
she looks like a goblin from Gringotts.
Oh, so what happens is like there's multiple people that run for mayor. So it's not just 2. It's multiple people that run for mayor, and everyone votes on it. And there's like a certain percentage that they have to meet. I think like the last mayor election in Chicago was like 5 people, and none of them met the percentage to be mayor.
Right.
So what they do is they take the top 2, and then they have a runoff, and that's how Lori Lightfoot became the mayor of Chicago.
This is your mayor typo.
I mean, her policies don't affect me down here, dude. But
I love the white background because it like green screens it for me.
I know it's hilarious, but yeah, dude. I don't know. It's crazy.
This is your mayor.
Now you have to go. I'm not going to tell people what that was. You have to go watch the YouTube.
Dude, it's just, yeah, like how these people are in charge of us. Like that person isn't, let me find another one. Like this person is in charge of us. She has some say in what you do. Some say. And, I'm not saying like a shit ton of say, but enough say to like be involved in your daily life. And it's like person.
Yeah, she's in charge of 2.6 million people. Like, that's fucking insane. This person gets to decide that what restaurants you go to.
She can't even look straight.
And when
she
you
can't
get
even
to wear
talk
a mask.
to you straight up. Like, she can't look straight at you and talk to you like a normal person.
But I have heard, so these cities that are like really strict on COVID right now still, with like passports and shit, I heard there's the biggest, like one of the biggest demands in New York is a fake COVID passport.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like
dope.
super high. It's going like crazy in the black market, is what I've heard. These are rumors. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's going like crazy. And a bunch of restaurants aren't complying in general either.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like, I think we've cited this before, but it was like 11 out of 15 weren't actually checking for the fucking vaccine card, or weren't checking it properly. And I think that's where we talk about mass non-compliance constantly, like just saying fuck you, we're not doing it. And I think that's the best way to get out of this, but it's so hard to get people on your side. So that's why I don't think it's the best way to get out of this. I think you doing it yourself and then literally telling people fuck you, I won't do it, and going on about your business and trying to, you walk into a store, they tell you you can't shop here, you're not masked, and you didn't show me your vaccine card, and then going about your shopping and see what happens at the end. See how long it fucking takes. See how long they're willing to keep up the charade, because you've already been through. So what's going to happen now?
I was going to say, it's like, what if it's all a charade?
It is all a charade.
Well, I'm saying a lot of this COVID stuff, especially when the politicians do, it's just a fucking charade. But I'm like, I've seen people that are actually have some decent reasoning to question the number of people that are actually vaccinated in this country.
Yeah.
What if they're lying about that?
I haven't really looked at that. I've heard that before, that they're not being completely truthful. It's not the 60% that they're saying it is of the United States citizens that are, and maybe it is. Honestly, I just don't give a fuck. Honestly, I don't care, because I don't think that number of whatever it is going to make a difference. I really don't. I really don't think it's going to make a difference in the overall outcome of this story. I think the overall outcome of the story, get vaccinated if you want to, and then shut the fuck up about it and don't let anybody check. I think, honestly, and if you don't want to, then don't do it and shut the fuck up about it and go on about your life. I feel like those are your only two options, really, is don't let people enforce it. I honestly don't care. I think people want to do it for their safety. And then, what you do with that card? You hide it away and never fucking touch it. And you only bring it up when you have some kind of medical emergency. And then you don't fucking talk about it anymore, because that's the only time it's fucking pertinent. Just like you do with every other medical decision in your life. Only when it's pertinent. And honestly, going to a store to shop, it's not pertinent. So tell people to fuck off and go on about your life. Stop being a fucking little cum bucket and needing to tell everybody that you're fucking vaccinated. The more that you tell people that you're vaccinated, the more I believe that you're just a fucking pussy wannabe that wanted power over somebody else. I don't care if you're vaccinated or not.
What's it like in Phoenix right now, or the city? Is it still mask up in places, or no?
Not really. I don't walk anywhere. I don't walk in anywhere with a mask. The only time I wear a mask is if I'm at work and they're requiring me to wear a mask. And it's after I've been asked multiple times, because there's some times where they're like, hey, can you put a mask on? And I'm like, yeah, I will. I have to go get it out of my truck. And then I go on about my business to just try and go through it, see how much they care. And honestly, most of the time I don't get fucking asked in general. So for the most part, the only time I get asked is at hospitals and, at some nursing homes. And honestly, I don't really feel bad wearing it there. You probably should. We probably should have been wearing masks at certain wings of the hospital and at nursing homes anyways. You know what I mean? Whatever, I'll fucking do it. It's a bandana.
Old people are susceptible to any disease, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want their nonsense.
Yeah, and we lived in fucking Japan for 2 years. there was people that walked around with masks in 2013 and 14.
Yeah, that was really weird. That was like the first time I seen like people wear masks. It was like it was only in Japan. It wasn't even like everyone in Japan.
But it was quite a few. It was a large portion of the population.
Yeah. It was. I would say like if like I think the rule of thumb was like if you were sick, you would wear a mask to like prevent.
And it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, like.
But at the same time, like the mandates and shit like that, I'm not gonna fucking give arguments to these people. Like, fuck you, I'm not doing it. And now Sun City, basically, if you work in Sun City as a contractor, you're supposed to be masked up. So I just tell people I can't do those jobs, and they're like, "Oh, you're not vaccinated." I'm like, "I'm not telling you if I'm vaccinated or not. That's just how it's gonna be."
It's like, yeah, dude, I like that. That's a better answer.
It has nothing to do with if I'm vaccinated or not. You can
even though I ask people all the time. I'll be like,
"They're vaccinated."
Yeah. Well, I do
fucking it pussy.
Like, I usually ask it for like data because I'm like, I don't know. People
how's my like, town doing?
yeah. That's what I want to know. It's like, is this town like what is like most people, and like generally speaking, I would say most people say no. But there is some people, and they always have some sort of reasoning, why, and
that's probably how it should be.
Yeah, sure, but like,
I'm an extreme diabetic. I was born with it.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like I have to have it. Hey, makes sense, dude. Whatever.
It's a $1 million propaganda machine. If someone said like, "Oh, I was scared," I'd be like, "I understand." Like, I completely understand. Like, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not even looking for an argument. I'm just looking for like data. I just want to be like. Asking like, "Oh, okay, you got the vaccine? Mark you on that fucking list not to trust."
Tell me to get it, and I'll mark you on the fucking kill list.
Yeah, but no, like I don't know, small town people, it's weird, dude. There was this polling. Joe Biden's approval rating has gone down the hill.
Yeah,
down. But there was this polling, and I thought this was interesting. So. They take like the top 3 things that Democrats and Republicans are concerned about.
Yeah.
And I think number 3 for Republicans was the debt ceiling.
Oh, that's surprising.
I was surprised when I saw that. I was like, okay.
It's only because they're getting told to care about it right now.
I was like, oh, we're only $28 million too late, but hey, buddy, we fucking, we're getting somewhere.
Fucking welcome.
$28 trillion in, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, this is getting a little high.
Almost 30. What's it at now? I think it's at like 28 something, 28 plus.
I think it's like 28 and a half. Somewhere around there. But remember when we started this and it was at like 21?
Fucking 2.5 years ago.
And we were like, wait, dude, that's like really fucking high. And it's like, oh shit, dude, now it's 28 and it's been like 2.5 years.
Yeah. Nationaldebtclock.org. USdebtclock.org. Let's see. Where are we at? US total debt. So this is total debt. Oh, wait. That one's 84 trillion. That's the total debt. The US national debt is 28,907,425,000,700, 800, 900 and counting thousand.
We're like 100 billion away from $30 trillion. God damn.
Yeah. 103 billion dollars away from $30 trillion in debt. And like you can't even count fast enough to do the 100,000s. So like it's like every minute it's like every 30 seconds we're spending $1 million in debt. Could you imagine your fucking credit card?
Just dude, like, if I go
like what's the percentage of that is like, let's say it was a cent. Every cent, what you were spending a cent every 15 seconds. Like that would max up real fucking quick.
Yeah.
Every 15 seconds in 24 hours you would have like a couple grand.
You know what we should do, if it was possible? You know that Justin Timberlake movie, like Time?
Yeah.
Where like time is currency, but it's also like the expectation of your life.
Yeah.
If you got elected to office, the higher the debt ceiling goes, the less time you have on your life.
People just fucking kill you. You're like, all right, dude. And every time you have like a really bad policy that puts the United States into debt, you just get like 10 years knocked off.
Yeah, dude, that would be a good way to
so
keep
it would
politicians.
It would be all right, so 0.01 times 60 would be seconds times 60, or I should do, what did I say? Every 15 seconds. So equals divided by, there's 15 seconds. How many times in 60 seconds? Fucking 5? 4? 4 divided by 4. So $216 a day times 365, $78,000 a year. I don't even fucking make that amount of money. The United States cannot keep this up, dude. Like, that's at 1 cent every 15 seconds.
Yeah. They spend more money. Yeah.
Insane.
It's dude, you can't even, like, literally no one can imagine.
And that's
you
like,
can't
that's not
imagine
even, that's like not
how
even
much
an actual,
money.
Yeah. Shut up, bro. That's not even like an actual ratio. Like, that's not even the actual ratio compared to like me as a normal civilian. That's that's just a made up ratio that I made in my head. Like, that it makes 0 sense.
Yeah, you can't even imagine how much money $28 trillion is.
I think
like you can't imagine it.
I think it tells you on here the debt per citizen is $86,000. So get this, debt per citizen $86,000, 822 100, and debt per taxpayer is $229,000. So, do that fucking math.
Jesus Christ.
$229,000 per taxpayer. There's some people that won't even fucking make that in a fucking
this is normal,
lifetime.
Completely normal.
Here for a good time, not a long time, right there, typo.
That's America, dude. We've only been here like 240 something years, and we're like, yeah, we're just gonna here for a good time and ride it out, and we're done.
Yeah, we really didn't want to last that long, apparently. I think that's the like the difference between like good people and bad people is like, bad people are like, yeah, I'm just trying to fucking get my money and cut out of here. And then like good people are like, I'm trying to elongate my life and my family's life and everything else. And it's like, oh, so we've just always been run by bad people. At least since the 1900s, it was just like, oh, we're really trying to like make as much money as possible. And then
if you're being nice, you could say we've just been ran by incompetent people, but it's either or.
Yeah, exactly. Like, maybe it's incompetence. Like, bad people are incompetent because they make rash decisions for like short-term gain. And it's like,
well, that's the thing of democracy, dude. When there's no consequences for your policies, because you're going to be gone. And, I mean, even if you're like, a lot of these policies that they enact take like years before you actually start to see like the massive amount of effects that this has on our society. So if you're only in office for like 30 years, you don't give a shit, dude.
No.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah. And you age like plus 5 years every time for every 1 year. So you're going to die early anyways.
Well, hopefully.
Some of them don't die soon enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I have anything else typoed there. Do you?
No, sir. I think we ranted about enough bullshit.
I think we got our weekly therapy session out.
Yeah, I feel good, dude. I'm gonna go get drunk.
Yeah, me too, dude. I'm fucking 3 Trulies deep. I'm gonna go get a glass of fucking Buffalo Trace and
Oh, dude, did you get a package?
Not yet.
Damn it. All right.
Is it supposed to have arrived yet? Do I need it? Is it big enough to fit in an apartment mailbox?
Well,
because I haven't checked my mail.
If it's the size of the mailbox apartment we lived in, probably not.
Okay, I'll go check out my front door. I never go out that way, so I'll check out there. But
it's Amazon that's coming to you, so hopefully they put it at your door and not the mailbox.
Yeah, well, you let me know. You check your Amazon. Well, we'll talk after this real quick, but that's it. I don't need to know about.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you what it is. It's a late birthday present, but
okay.
Yeah.
No worries. I appreciate it. Well, I guess that's the fucking shit show. I gotta take my dog out and take a piss myself. I hope you guys fucking enjoyed it. We will have some guests on. We've been kind of running like crazy, so we haven't gotten to talk to anybody, but I think Jose Gallison is gonna make a podcast appearance on Biting the Bullet.
Yeah,
we can give him shit about being in.
Yeah, he's with Tower Gang, and then he has his own podcast, No Way Jose, and I actually was on there, so go check it out.
But we're gonna talk shit to him about what he was in the Air Force, right? And we're gonna
think so.
I think it was the Air Force, and we're gonna talk shit to him about that and being shorter than Typo, which is hard to do. So
yeah.
Maybe he should be on sometime. Maybe he'll be coming on soon. So we got some good guests coming up. I promise. You don't have to listen to Typo and I rant constantly. But that's the fucking shit show. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we out.